Welcome back, artists. I'm Wyatt Paints. Today is February 12th, 2024, and this is gonna be vlog post number 7. And artists, it's time to celebrate. We just hit 1,000 subs. I'm pretty stoked. Now, we still haven't gotten Senpai YouTube to notice us with a fancy plaque, so I made one myself. Bam! Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? It's perfect. It's perfect. And yes, you are correct in assuming this is my very own PLA button. To commemorate the occasion, I've even retired my texture palette. I'll have to make a new one, but it's a perfect keepsake and well worth the sacrifice. And it said I did a good job. Good job. I can't tell you how floored I am how fast the Pantheon has grown in the last few months. And I can't thank each and every one of you enough. And who knows, if we hit 10K, maybe have to make a resin one. Now, it might take a while to get there, but if we keep growing like we have been, it's gonna happen sooner than I realize it. And the video that did a lot of the heavy lifting this month was the MODOK video. So expect to see more large comic statues in the future. I've got a ton of Marvel stuff I've been itching to do. So while I have the next 6 to 8 videos already planned out, as soon as I find little gaps, I'm gonna start sticking them in. As for other news regarding the channel, I've started reaching out to different print manufacturers to hopefully get some kind of sponsorship going. Fingers crossed on that one because resin is expensive. And it's most likely a pipe dream for them to be interested in a channel so small. But there's a saying, it's always a no when you don't ask. So I figured it's a good idea to get some practice in asking and maybe set up some connections for the future. At worst, I'll get a bunch of no's or not yets. But who knows, maybe next video I'll start making some of that sweet Raid Shadow Legends money. Now I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to my patrons as always, but also a special shout out to Macho coming through like the GOAT as usual. Not only did he send me some of my favorite sexy nudes, he also set me up for my next paint challenge, which we're gonna do right now, using only craft paints, just to see what I can do. And seeing as he's a longtime supporter of the channel, I was more than happy to oblige. And how can I say no to free paint? Now, first off, I had to temper my expectations with this paint, as by volume, this is about 20% of the price of my usual paint. Nevertheless, its performance was not that far behind Vallejo. It's just a few steps short. First, the pigment. While it seems like a very thick paint, it's not from the pigment load, and it's more that they use a very heavy medium. When I brush this on a surface, the bristles will literally cut through the pigment and leave deep brush strokes. This makes it take many more coats to get even full opacity coverage. Finally, while most of these paints dry very matte, almost to a dusty finish, some of them have a bit more of a satin finish, and it's not a deal breaker, but kind of a buzzkill. I also found layering this paint was a bit more difficult because of its inconsistency in coverage. It required extra attention. When it was all said and done, this is how the Under Beholder turned out. Keep in mind, this is an FDM print, so layer lines are very apparent. Actually, I'm kind of surprised he was able to print this in FDM at all. In the end, these paints do have their problems that'll keep me from using them in more detailed work like minis or faces. But for prints like castles or other large terrain, this will be perfect. Pretty much anything you can measure in square feet. Also, I'll have to test blowing it through my airbrush to see if I get even better results. So you're definitely gonna see these paints again. Finally, I know most of you don't watch these vlog videos by evidence of the view count, and you know, that's fair, that's fair. So it's extra special to me that you took the time to watch this all the way to the end. Thank you so much. Remember, artists, stay creative and always enjoy the process.